Hey friends, thanks for tuning in. This is a podcast where I speak on feelings, sex, friendship, and whatever else makes you uncomfortable. Join me on my journey as I give you something worth listening to.
We go solo, we lose control, the fire starts, then we explode when the smoke clears. We fight our tears, only I love you.
Alright, let me cut this off because I don't want to get sued by Tamar. But hey friends, thank you for joining me in another episode of Something Worth Listening To. I wish I could sing. That shit would be fucking fire. I would never shut up, to be honest. I think I was like a musician in my past life because like music and lyrics, they just sink into my soul. They seep in my soul. Sorry guys, I don't know if I'm like too hype. Like bitch, relax, you know? Calm down. But I'm excited. I'm sure I'm excited. Today's topic, guess what we're talking about? Oh my god, just take a wild guess. Actually, before you guys guess what we're talking about, a quick disclaimer. There's this thing on my Instagram that I started, here's the plug, at SWLT by Ken. On that Instagram page, there is a thing that I wanted to start, and I think it's so cute. I don't even know how I came up with the idea, but I was just like, I wanted it to be like an interactive thing with you guys. You know, I know everyone, when they do things, they're like, oh, like, write it in, I'll look at it, and sometimes they deadass don't look at it, so you be fucking talking to yourself, sending DMs to yourself. But I actually want to start doing things with you guys. I want you guys to write in, so I created this highlight right here, highlight on my Instagram called Story Time. Now what that is I want you guys to feel free to tell me whatever story, anytime you want to write in, send me a DM. I have those little like, that little question thing, but tell me anything you want to tell me. I am going to obviously respond, and I'm gonna come back and share it. The thing with that though is I was gonna keep it anonymous. You know, obviously if you wanted me to say who you are, give you a nice little shout out or whatever, yeah, I'll definitely say that. But for the default thing, I think that's how you're saying it, it's just gonna be anonymous. Like, I wanted to get that started. I want you guys to tell me stories, or even if you want to vent, even if we have, I know, because like I said, we're gonna be talking about like some deep shit. Tell me anything you feel like you want to share. Like, I'm here, all ears, I'm open. And I'm kind of like looking for like males, because there's a couple topics that I wanted to speak about, and I want your opinion. You know, again, like, and I always say this, but this is one of my go-to quotes: different strokes for different folks. Because just because you a guy and you feel this way don't mean the next man's gonna feel that way. I want everyone's opinion. Just tell me, speak to me, talk to me. I sound like fucking desperate, like, bitch, go get some motherfucking friends. But speak to me, tell me anything you want to tell me. Even if you're like, bitch, you fucking suck, just tell me I suck. Like, at least you wrote in. That deadass does sound desperate for friends. Anyways, so that's what I wanted to bring up. Finally, on to today's topic. We're gonna be talking about self-care, self-love, you know, just the whole shebang. I asked a couple of you guys what you thought self-care was, and I got some pretty good like responses. Actually, I didn't think anybody was gonna say anything, but I got someone who said anything that brings you happiness and a peace of mind. I got another person who said making yourself a priority and things that will make you happy and let yourself grow in peace. I agree with both those definitions. I think it's just doing things that strictly benefit your mental, physical, and emotional health. Like, you just want to be in a positive space all the time. I know it's not realistic to be positive all the time. Like, you're going to be a negative Nancy once in a while. But do what you can to protect that clear headspace, that good headspace. A couple months, like, I lied. Maybe like late last year, I realized that I wasn't in a good mental or like emotional health space for myself. I just felt this void. I've been feeling it probably for almost all of 2019, and I just would try to fill it with a boyfriend or fill it with like a relationship or just something so I wouldn't have to think about it. And I realized me talking to different people, me dealing with different people, I wouldn't say like different people, not like a lot of people, because I make myself sound like hell. But that same loneliness, or the same emptiness that I felt before they came into my life, was still there while I was dealing with them. So my point by saying that is, only you can fill the hole that you feel. That's what she said. I had to take a good look in the mirror and realize that nobody else can make me feel whole. Nobody else can fill that peace that I feel I keep looking for. And if it was meant to be, it would happen. Like, don't want to sound preachy. I had to do things to better help myself. Like, I remember I started just pointing out all the good things about myself and remind myself of where I want to be by this age, or where I want to be in life. Some of the things that I started to do, I switched my availability for my job. Right now, I work at Old Navy, and instead of having open availability, I switched it to only Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So I work all day on all 3 days, and then Monday through Thursday, I have time for myself, or I have time for my podcast. I've been wanting to do this podcast for about a year and some change, and I never got to it because I was so focused on school. I was so focused on Old Navy. Like, other things came priority. Other things came before my podcast. It wasn't until quarantine that I actually sat down and started podcasting, or taking little steps to podcast. It was always going to bed early so I could wake up to go to work on time. Going to bed early so I could wake up to go to school on time. You know, just a cycle of things that I didn't really, I don't want to say care for, but my goal is podcasting. Like, my goal is talking to people, just reaching out to people. This is what I want to do with my future. So I have all these other things above my goals. It's not really prioritizing me, if that makes any sense. I'm not really good at explaining, but I hope you pick up what I'm putting down a little bit. One thing that may be harder for people to do, like, more than others, are take time for themselves throughout the day, or like a day throughout the week. Because, you know, there's bills, there's kids, reality kicks in, and not everyone can make time for themselves. But even something as simple as a 40-minute massage, go get it. When you're getting your nails done, that's the perfect time to clear your head, if you get your nails done. Or even when you come home, that little 5 minutes and a nice glass of wine or a nice glass of water, even shower time, just focus on just relaxing. One thing that I do want you guys to remember is that just because you prioritize yourself does not mean that you're selfish. It doesn't make you a bad person either. That's something that I have trouble with sometimes, because I just push myself, especially for those around me, because I know that they would do the same. It's okay to say no. It's okay to want to have your space. It's okay to want to have your time. And those who really fuck with you and know that you always come through, they'll understand if you need 5 minutes to yourself. You're not asking for too much. You're not doing too much. Everyone is entitled for 5 minutes of alone time. I would have people that I used to rock with that I would do everything that I can for them, and the one time I say no is like I never did anything. What I'm saying is, just because you say no and think about yourself doesn't mean that you only think about yourself. Oh my God, last week I went on a trip to Atlantic City. I went for 3 days and I went by myself. Oh my God, bitch, you went by yourself? Yes, ho, I went by myself. I planned it with people, it just didn't work out, but I think everyone should take a trip alone. Everyone should go somewhere alone. And I don't think you should make a big deal about going somewhere alone, because if you think about it, you're gonna meet so much other people along the way, and you guys are all there for the same reason. Like, I went to concerts by myself, I went out to eat by myself, I went to movies by myself, and you meet people everywhere, so it's not even awkward. It was just a good getaway. I went to go chill. The second day, I went parasailing for the first time, and I went on the boardwalk, drunk, of course. And the third day, again, chilled and went home. It's just good to go away, to just not think about things that you would normally stress about. When I tell you, I spent my money and did not think twice about it, because when I'm home, I'm always thinking 2-3 times about it. I went and I drank as much as I wanted to, because when I'm home and I go out with my friends, I'm the designated driver, so I can't drink as much as I wanted to. I went parasailing and didn't have to think twice, because I wasn't with someone who wouldn't want to go. Shit is just so much fun when you're alone. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my friends and I be having fun with those hoes, but sometimes it's good to get away too. Enjoy your time, enjoy your space. And that's all I wanted to put it out there. Remember, you whores, self-care is doing anything to strictly benefit your mental, physical, and emotional health. Removing yourself from any toxic, negative, weirdo energy, weirdo environments. Yeah, that means people too. Remove yourself from toxic ass people. I don't know why people think toxic is cute. Like, it's traumatizing. Yeah, I have to find better ways to end these episodes, but that is all I had for today, and I appreciate you coming back. Remember, don't forget to include yourself in my Storytime stories. Thank you for listening, and tell your mama, and tell your brothers, and tell your daddies, if you know them, to follow my Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week. Later, whores.